That's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's eaten so much chalk there won't be any left in Baden-Württemberg. That's when people get polemical.
This talk show was really something, and I promise you there was absolute dynamite in the show. That's why News in the Evening is cancelled today, and we're going to watch yesterday's absolute highlight. Quick note, unfortunately my camera completely froze and I won't be back with the camera until Monday.
I agree with Mr. Ruki on that, but first of all, I think we need to separate asylum and immigration. Asylum is about people who are in need. I have a lot of understanding for someone who is in need and grabs at any straw. But that's not what asylum law was created for. Asylum law is exclusively for those who are politically persecuted. On the other point regarding immigration...
Did you hear how the interjection was, you should be the one to say that?
By now it's annoying. Everything that the colleagues here are complaining about, they themselves helped organize as governing parties, and you need to be honest about that.
Because for years the money was sent abroad. Suddenly the Greens, together with the Christian Democratic Union and the Social Democratic Party, remembered that. Oops, the economy is collapsing, thousands of jobs are being lost, 60,000 to be exact. The car manufacturers are in an absolute crisis. And Frohnmeyer, who actually has nothing to do with this matter, has just kept quiet. I have to say it like this, guys. Where are we here?
My name is Anne Schreier-Schubert and I'm from Stuttgart. I have 4 grandchildren and I would like, and this is my vision for Baden-Württemberg, I would like them to grow up in a world in Baden-Württemberg that it becomes a model state for diversity and integration and against racism.
Watch what kind of statements she's about to make. We all know that about 95% of all seriously criminal people have a migration background and are not different. The Federal Criminal Police Office also confirms that.
Federal Criminal Police Office, should I phrase that as a question? To the group, yes.
I'll phrase the question right away. Especially we in Germany have a history and I don't want that to repeat itself.
It keeps coming up that former Stasi informants are now with the grandmas against the right. Yes, exactly, those Stasi informants who used to report people back then and made sure they ended up in camps or something like that. Exactly, this woman is now standing up. Of course, I don't think she was with the Stasi because she's not from the East. But this thunderous applause for false statistics where not even a fact check was done afterwards.
Exactly. My question is for Mr. Özdemir and the candidate from the left party. What exactly do you want to do? So I don't want to hear empty phrases and general statements, but what exactly do you want to do so that, first of all, immigrants here in Baden-Württemberg feel valued again? And secondly, so that they can feel safe. Because, as you all know, 95% of the attacks, anti-Semitic and racist attacks, are committed by right-wing extremists.
Is that not the case? So somehow they don't love them in Germany anymore? Let me explain this briefly, before such unfounded facts are thrown around here without really being clarified. No, 95% of all anti-Semitic crimes are committed by leftists. Why? Because they run around with Palestinian flags and sing from the river to the sea to stir up unrest, hatred and agitation. And left-wing extremist crimes, quite a mouthful, are becoming more significant while right-wing crimes have basically stayed at the same level. Even dear Mr. Dobrindt himself has confirmed that.
My name is Stefan Duscher. I served in the Bundeswehr for 12 years because I firmly believe in our democracy and I was wounded twice. But I think the whole discussion about migration is pretty toxic. Because as soon as you are even slightly critical of migration, you are quickly pushed into the right-wing extremist or Nazi corner. And I am absolutely of the opinion that in Germany we definitely do not have 20 or 40%, we have less than 1% Nazis. And migration does not only bring good things, you have to look at it critically as well. For example, I live in Kornwestheim and now a shelter is supposed to be expanded again. There have already been rapes there. The whole population doesn't want this, but it's just forced on us. And the mayor doesn't even live in Kornwestheim, so he doesn't care at all.
And how right he is with that statement. I really have to emphasize that, but they definitely won't invite him again. And I think he'll also get a public broadcasting ban because nobody wants to see him there anymore. Wounded, I'm pretty sure, wounded in Afghanistan, that would definitely fit the timeline, also considering his age. And yes, but he says it out loud. We don't want any more refugee shelters. We don't want any more migration. By the way, Afghanistan has just been attacked, so we will probably have to expect even more migrants to come in the future. Does that mean we should already prepare ourselves for the next million to have already set out to enter Germany again?
The majority is the decisive factor. And why can't we accept it now when the majority says, no, we don't want migration the way it's happening? Why can't we accept that?
When I'm in a country where now a knife attack happens every 3 hours, once a week, a statistic anyone can look up, a gang rape happens once a week. Then we have to be able to talk about it and ask ourselves whether we're shaping the right migration policy here in Baden-Württemberg and Germany.
Of course, nobody there wanted to hear that, and Frohnmayer was immediately silenced again so that he wouldn't have to comment on it. But what Ötzi is telling me now, just listen to it and let me ask you directly, do you also feel your stomach turn when you hear something like that?
When I watch talk shows, I do watch them. So in that sense, I want to do it a little. I think I understand your impression, and if that's your impression, then I have to accept it. But I try to argue. You can share your opinion here. That's the beauty of democracy. We have diverse views and engage through discussion. First of all, secondly, I want to say, I think it's right that you mentioned security. Can we agree that we should agree on security for everyone everywhere in Germany? That's it. That means, for example, just as I defend your security, I would wish that you also defend security in Eastern Germany, even if they don't look like they're descendants of the Vikings.
I could keep building up this show for hours. Actually, I just wanted to tell you that Ötzi just asked me why the trains aren't working. That doesn't even fit into this video anymore. Then he said, well, he has nothing to do with the trains, and you wouldn't really know that. And Stuttgart 21 is another thing like that where nobody could do anything about it. Those were all things where I really said, this completely misses the people. And in the moment when people actually express their problems. Yeah, if they don't look like a Viking, what kind of brainless statement was that from the Greens? Feel free to write below how you like this show. I'll put the link down here for you.